Today we're going to be seeing how Sam the cooking guy makes his butter chicken. If you haven't seen our first review of Sam making his egg fried rice for Uncle Roger, then be sure to check that video out after this. Oh, I also forgot to tell you that I've redesigned my logo and I have some new merch as well, so be sure to check that out because this cup is absolutely fantastic. I mean, this is a 15-liter mug, which is perfect for a cup of tea. Not 15 liter, 15 ounces, but you know what I mean, it's big.
We've gotten requests, a bunch of them for this. And it's typically not something that I make because it's a handful of ingredients, a couple of which you might not have. But it's worth getting them because this is so comforting, so cozy. It's an old favorite sweater in a bowl. That was the dumbest thing I've ever said. But by the end of this, you're gonna be like, oh, Sam, yeah, I better get those things. And what makes it even better is we're making it in the Instant Pot. Chancey's favorite instrument in the kitchen.
Ooh.
Am I right?
You're right, I love him.
Loves it.
I love the shirt that Sam has. With making butter chicken, you can use basically whatever pot you need. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you use. Using an Instant Pot, a pressure cooker is going to be a lot faster, but it's not necessary. You can just use a normal pan with this.
We marinate some chicken, beautifully marinated chicken. Then it comes together in the Instant Pot. So we begin with a tablespoon of ginger paste and garlic paste. By the way, that's a strong start. We give it a tablespoon of oil.
Oh, was that a little bit of olive oil that I saw? It looks suspiciously like a bottle of olive oil. It just has that tint to it. All jokes aside, I mean, if you do have to use olive oil to cook with, it's not that big of a deal, especially if you just add a little bit. It's not going to impart such a strong flavor with, especially butter chicken with all the spices. However, if you're going to be making this for any Indian friends, it may be a better idea not to use olive oil, yeah? They may be able to taste it.
And then our seasonings, and the first is a tablespoon of ground red pepper. It looks like that. And the next is about the same of garam masala.
Just red pepper chili powder, not like a specific type. Now, keep in mind, there are many different types of chilies, many types of red chilies, and many different types of red chili powder. Now, if you're not very capable of taking a lot of heat, I would suggest to use sweet paprika. If you want a more authentic type of butter chicken, then you can use some Kashmiri chilies, which to a lot of my Indian friends, they say that it's not spicy, but there's a difference between their palate and like maybe your palate. So if you can't take spice, taste it before you add it.
And garam masala is a very typical ingredient in all kinds of Indian food, and it smells like cumin and cinnamon and cardamom, and it's just great. Give it a little salt and pepper here, quick mix. Nice. Put it off to the side, and we'll cut our chicken. And our chicken for Max today is chicken breasts.
Ooh.
Because they're his favorite.
Oh, we're using chicken breast on top of it. Now, I do have to admit, at home, when I make butter chicken, because I do make it every once in a while, I tend to use chicken breast because I prefer chicken breast. It's not necessarily the best meat to use, especially if you're going to be making this for like a big batch of people and, you know, you need to cook for a very long time. It's better to use chicken thighs. Thighs have more flavor, but they also have more resistance to overcooking. And if you're going to be making it for Uncle Roger, use thighs. Otherwise, you're going to get roasted.
Pleasantly surprised, and then you fuck it up by using chicken breast. Yeah.
And these, we're gonna cut into bite-sized pieces. Like this, like this. Just do it. Or as our friend Google would say, let's do it.
I don't know if he's going to be making the sauce later, or if he's going to be using these spices for the sauce as well. Here's a travel hack you'll wish you knew sooner. It's called UBG, spelled U-B-I-G-I, and it gives you instant eSIM data in over 200 destinations. No more physical SIM swapping, no sketchy airport Wi-Fi, no random SIM storage drama. Just open the app, pick a destination, and you're ready to go. You can even recharge right inside the app, even if you have zero mobile credit or Wi-Fi access. Seriously though, I've saved up to 90% compared to roaming fees. No surprises, no contracts, just data when you need it. Set it up before your flight, and the plan activates automatically when you land. As long as your eSIM is on, you'll have total peace of mind. Need to hotspot a friend or another device? No problem. Tethering is allowed too. Use my code CHEFJAMES to get 10% off. Download UBG now. Links in the description.
This, like this, and like this. Now, I was gonna put a glove on because I know Max is not a fan of this hand work, but I mean, come on, it's already messy. Pointless too.
In the UK, I mean, chefs actually prefer not to use gloves. They actually use their hands because in one way it is cleaner if you, of course, don't have anything on your hands, like no rings and anything, and if you have no cuts. The problem is with gloves is once you put on a glove and then you start touching everything, you don't just touch the food and throw it away and then put on another glove to touch something else, then it leads to cross-contamination. It's the same thing.
You want everybody coated really well. We're gonna love this. Silky, delicious. Okay, when you're all good here, set this off to the side, 15, 20 minutes to let the spices kick in a little bit, and then we will start to saute it.
Now, normally when you make butter chicken, or actually originally when butter chicken was made, I'm sure many of you have heard this, but butter chicken was the result of trying to save some tandoori chicken that had dried out. So if you want a more authentic type of butter chicken, the best thing to do is to make some tandoori chicken. Now, of course, if you don't have a tandoor oven, technically it's not tandoori chicken, but if you just grill your chicken off, or even like sear them in the pan over higher heat, you can still get similar results.
With our chicken marinated and the Instapot hot, in goes some oil, and now we'll start to sear our chicken. So in they go. And you want to hear that sound, because if you don't, I don't know, you're boiling it, and that's not what you want to do. But you can't throw too much in at a time or it'll cool way down, so you'll have to do this in a couple of shifts. The smell of the spices coming off that is fantastic, and it's only going to get better. So we're just trying to give it a little color, which will result in a little flavor.
Now what Sam is explaining is that when you add a colder product to a hot pan, it will drop the temperature. This is a basic in all cooking. This is why typically if you're going to be cooking a lot of food, you don't add everything to the pan at once, because you will drop the temperature and you won't be sauteing, you won't be searing anymore, it'll be boiling. It's the same principle when you're frying. You don't add a whole bunch of fries or anything to the fryer because that drops the temperature too much.
Right? We'll just get it white all the way around. So give it a second or two, it's gonna be good. And out this comes, just work your way through the batch that you got. Look at all that beautiful stuff on the bottom. And while it's still on saute, and while it's still hot, as soon as the chicken's out, I'm gonna give it one more splash of oil, and then a small yellow onion.
Anytime that you're cooking chicken with like chili powder, it can burn very easily. All that seasoning from the chicken is now stuck to the bottom of the pan and it's burnt. It is black. That, when it starts to burn, imparts a very bitter flavor. This can also impart more carcinogens when you burn food.
Goes in to soften a bit. We'll give it one splash of water to help soften up what's on the bottom. Great, because we want that. That's gonna be fabulous. All right, they softened for another minute or so, and then what arguably is the star of the show, 1/4 cup of butter. This will melt. Oh, and start to really smell nice.
You can actually make the sauce first and cook the chicken separately and just add that later. This is more of Chef Ranveer's technique, and also a little bit with Your Food Lab on how he does it. He makes the sauce separately.
Now we come in with the rest of what's going in here. The first is 14 ounces of tomato puree, or passata, and now more spices. Another tablespoon of ground masala, beautiful. Teaspoon of chili powder, teaspoon of turmeric, teaspoon of paprika, and teaspoon of cumin. This we will mix. Tiny bit more ginger and garlic.
Sam is making this a little different than how I've seen other chefs make. Even when we reviewed Sunny, that guy can cook, his butter chicken didn't have any onions in it.
And now comes back our chicken with any liquids that have come off it. Hi guys, this all gets mixed. I'm gonna give it just a little water. Hey fly. Maybe 1/3 of a cup. And that looked red because it's the container that the tomato puree was in. I think we're good. We put our lid on. Wait for that.
What are we waiting for? The machine just keeps beeping. Another reason why just to use a gas burner or an induction is faster.
Lock it in place. We make sure this is on sealing. Set it to high pressure, give it 5 minutes, and away it goes. And at the end of the 5 minutes, let it release manually. See what I'm doing here? I like this to be smooth and creamy. I like the sauce to be super smooth, like a baby's butt. Bad analogy.
That was a bad analogy.
Sorry, children.
How many grills does Sam have in his backyard? I like his backyard though, it's actually quite nice. And what is that little thing that's spinning around? Is that a bug swatter?
And in an unnecessary step that I have to do, because that's the way I like it, I want to hand blend this. So it means I have to take the chicken out because I forgot. Again, every time. Once again, I'm going to tell you, I forget shit. Even if it's written down. And it was written down. People think I fake this. I don't fake it. I don't fake it at all.
Now at home, personally, I cook my chicken breasts whole. I cook the chicken whole first, and then after I've cooked it with the other ingredients in the sauce, I take it out, cut it, blend the sauce, and then add the chicken back in. Actually, I shred the chicken. Shredding it gives it a wonderful texture, and if you add enough chicken or shredded chicken to the sauce as well, it's delicious.
So get all the pieces out. What a pain in the ass. Terrible pain. I don't want to blend up the chicken, so make sure you get all of that out. And then, when you have, then you take a hand blender. I could have skipped this, but this is what makes me happy. This part, I want it smooth. And then in you go. It's really just the little bits of onion. Oh, it's splattering. There you go. Now the chicken goes back. This is feeling right to me.
One little tip, if you want a very silky smooth consistency, I would highly recommend to pass the sauce after you've blended it through a sieve. This just collects everything, any of the large particles that didn't blend. The sieve will catch it, so that way you don't get large chunks. It makes a difference.
We lock it in place, pressure cook, high pressure, 5 minutes, and we walk away. And after 10 minutes of manual release, if it still won't open, vent it yourself. And when that little guy drops, we're there. Wait for it. Boom. Let's have a look. Bubbling, bubbling. Oh, the smell. Oh, it's fantastic. Okay.
If any of you don't know how a pressure cooker works, it does exactly that. It cooks under pressure. So by increasing the pressure in this little chamber, you're able to increase the boiling point, and that superheated steam will cook the food a lot faster than just putting a lid on it. You have to be careful though with the pressure cooker because they are under immense pressure, and sometimes if they malfunction, you can have, for lack of a better word, a bomb on your hands.
One more thing left to do. We're going to turn it to saute and add 1 cup of heavy cream. Give it a stir, and in about 7-8 minutes this will have thickened beautifully. And that's when we come back. And just look at what we've created. Oh, nice. I can turn this off now.
Oh, it looks good. I mean, the consistency of the sauce looks very nice as well. I am curious if he's going to add any fenugreek though to this, because this is a very common ingredient with a lot of Indian chefs. It's like an earthy flavor to it, a little bit like grass. When it's dried, it does. But if you toast it, it increases the flavor.
Butter chicken. Instapot butter chicken. The smell is amazing, rising up to greet me, and I cannot wait to have some. Let me show you how I like to put this together. We begin by putting some rice in our bowl. Use whatever rice you like, but honestly, white rice for me against the orange reddish color of the chicken is the way to go.
Me personally at home, I either eat it with rice or more often than not, I eat it with bread.
And now we come with this. Last but not least, just a little cilantro. It's beautiful. And look at this. The color's fantastic. The smell is fantastic. I love it on the rice. So let's just make ourselves a little bite. Oh, look, I already know what I'm getting myself into here. This is straight perfection.
I think he's going to enjoy it. I mean, it does look tasty. The only thing for me was that the spices were burnt in the pan when he was sauteing the chicken.
Oh, that's where it gets you, right? Look, what makes this amazing is this is a flavor combination that we don't often have. I mean, unless you're making a lot of Indian food. It's worth buying some garam masala. It really is. I always keep turmeric because I use it for other things. But if you, I mean, go to a store that sells bulk spices, because then you can just buy a little bit. Because that garam masala is like $10. And unless you think you're going to make a ton of this.
$10 for a little thing of garam masala. Oh, those are Cali prices. Sam is in California, but that is expensive. Normally, I go to my little Indian store, buy everything in bulk, and it's cheap as chips.
You're gonna love this. Make sure you make it.
That was a really enjoyable video to watch. I mean, Sam overall did a pretty good job. And considering that we have seen other butter chickens that shouldn't even be labeled as butter chicken, this looked like butter chicken. Please guys, be sure to go over to Sam the Cooking Guy's channel and say hi from me. Tell him that he did a great job. And if you haven't checked out this next video here, be sure to check it out. You need to see it. And if you have, you need to see it again. Until next time, take care. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like bell.